Hi, everybody. My name is Matthew Steele. I'm someone who's lived with epilepsy for almost my whole life. I had my first one and worst one when I was 1.5 years old. I'm currently 32. I was not a case of epilepsy that was missed, as I had many reoccurring, one after the other there. At my first one, I'm currently at a point where I'm 7 years seizure free. I'm still on my medicines, but I had my brain surgery back in 2013. So, due to where I'm at right now, I like to think of that as a success. Anyways, I'm someone who, throughout my whole life, has always been very open about my epilepsy and talking to various kinds of people about what to do and different ways to raise awareness. So, today, what I'm doing is I'm going to share exercise ideas with you for about 8 myths related to epilepsy, and for each exercise idea, I'll give you two or three options that are at like different ability levels. So this first myth we're going to do is that one seizure means you have epilepsy. So it's actually they're a little bit different. So you have to have 2 or more recurring seizures to say you have epilepsy, but there's a lot of people who will just have one seizure at some point in their lifetime. That's why the number of people who will have a seizure, 1 in 10, is a lot higher than the number of people that will live with epilepsy, 1 in 26. So the number of letters in that one person will have a seizure, or one seizure means you have epilepsy, sorry I phrased it wrong, is 30. So we're going to do a 30-second kind of warm-up thing. So you can either do jumping jacks, one where you go quick up and out at the same time. Level 2 is you can do a modification of that. So instead of jumping as you're doing them fully, you're still bringing your arms up, but then what you do is you slide one foot out at a time. So my arms go up, right foot goes out. Next time, arms go out, left foot goes out. So that would be option 2. Option 3 is then based off of the couch or chair or whatever. So sitting down, you would sit down and we're going to move our arms quickly like we're punching. So we're going to punch quickly forward. Okay, so those are the 3 choices for that one. That's the first myth. Now the second myth that I want to focus on today is that epilepsy is contagious. It is not something like, a cold or a flu or strep throat even that you can pass along from one person to the other. You can maybe pass it along through genetics, but that's about as far as it can go. So the word contagious is 10 letters. So for this, we're going to focus on abs. So the 3 different levels for this. Actually, I'm only doing 2 with this, so you can lay down and you can bring your opposite hand to your toes. So our hands are going to be down all the way on the ground. Our toes we're laying flat. So I would bring my right hand up to my left toe. Left hand up to my right toe in the center. And so you can either do it counting 10 as left, right is 1, or you can do it as left is 1, right is 1. So it can either be a 10 or a 5. Same kind of thing with this other option. So seated, what we're going to do is you can raise one leg at a time. So you raise your left, try to sit up as straight as you can, hands pushing down or on the side, on your armrests, and we're going to raise one leg. So we raise our left leg, our right leg. So like with the other one, you can say that left, right is 1, or you can say left is 1, right is 1. But either way, the number you're aiming for is 10. So now that was two different body parts. Next in the cycle, we're going to do legs. So for our leg thing today, we're basing it off of the fact that epilepsy is a mental illness. So illness is not the right word for it. It's a disability. It's a neurological disability. It's not something that ever requires being put in any kind of insane asylum or something that makes people not be able to function as others can. So it's nothing like that. So mental illness, 13 letters. So what we're doing for this one, as I said, involves our legs. Options 1 and 2 are very close related, kind of like our jumping jacks were. So option 1 is you can do the full rocket ship or frog jump motion, whatever you want to call it, and with the jump. So you go down, you touch the ground, and you explode up. And you would do it as a full jump. So then you're going to aim for that 13 times. Down, fingertips or palms if you want, and then explode up. So option 2 is you just don't go through the jump. You go down, you touch the ground, and you bring yourself up, hands to the sky. So same beginning, but you don't jump. That's option 2. Option 3, if you're doing it as you're seated, is we're going to go and get our hands, start with our hands like out, palms facing away from us at about 90 degrees. And we're going to go down, we're going to touch the ground in between our toes as close as we can get to the ground. Then we're going to bring our arms above our head. So those are the 3 options for that. Do whichever one you're comfortable with. Just a couple kinds of ideas. So now, I generally, when I'm doing classes, or even for myself, some of the time after every couple exercises, I like to take a break. So if you're doing them yourself, this would be a good kind of time to take a break. We just did, 3 of them? So, I personally, some things I like to kind of do in my workouts, if I'm not tying them to epilepsy, is I like to kind of do them to, I'll also do them to words in my life. So like, for example, I work at a place called Wegmans. So I'll do a workout to the letters of the alphabet of Wegmans. So Wegmans is, the W is the 23rd letter, so you would do 23 of something. The E is the 5th letter, you would do 5. So on and so forth. And now when you get to letters like A or B or C, instead of doing 1, 2, or 3, I personally like to try to push myself and do something for like 3 minutes, 1 minute. But everyone has their own thing. So, anyways, that was a little break there. We'll get back to what we were doing. So now, next up we have we'll do a chest exercise, which is in here. And the next myth we're going to talk about is falling down. So that's 11 letters. And what I mean by that is there are over 40 types of seizures. A lot of people, what the type they see in the in the movies and mentioned about in the news the most are the ones where people fall over. That's not every type of seizure. So we're going to do the word falling down, and we're going to do this semi push-up related. So I'll give you multiple options to do the same type of thing, and then I'll do a type of thing that you can do seated. So we're doing the wide grips. You want to start kind of in a tabletop position and get your hands out from your shoulders with your fingers pointing away from you. And so the regular version of this is you get up in a plank position and you're going to go down and basically get your chest and almost your nose to touch the ground. Option 2 is you do it on your knees, and now same kind of thing, but you want to get your back, make sure on both of them your back is straight. And this one you go down and not your chest, but your nose touches the ground. That's option 2. You can also do them. So I'm not next to a wall, so it's going to be kind of challenging to show that. I'll do it try to do it leaning into my couch to show you, but you can do it either on your knees, in a chair, or standing, leaning into something. So like, if I were to come here, I could do it, this is hard to get a good angle on. I'll do it low on my couch to semi-show you. So you can do it and angle yourself in towards the couch. Again, with your hands pointed out. The couch, the wall, whatever. So that's option 3 for it. And now, if you're doing it seated, another alternative for this is, so you're going to get your arms at 90 degrees all the way out, and then you're going to go back, like you're pulling your shoulder blades together, and you're going to hold that. You can either hold it for 11 seconds, since that's the number, or you can bring it and hold it for a couple, 2 to 3 seconds, and go forward and do it like 11 times. So you'll notice it get kind of out here and also a little bit in your back on that one. So anyways, we're now halfway there. I said we're doing 8, that's 4. And that's not counting the cool down. I'll give you an idea to cool yourself down at the end. So number 5, we'll go back and we'll do legs. So for this one, this myth I'm doing is restrain during a seizure. So you don't want to, if you see someone having a seizure, as much as you might think, you don't want to hold them and prevent them from trembling, from jerking their hand, or whatever it may be. What you can do is you are asked to like guide them. So like if you see the person having a seizure and they're going towards something dangerous, steps, street, cars, water, anything like that, you can help guide the person a different way, but you don't want to hold them in place. So what we're going to do on this one is I'm going to go backwards on this to kind of show you what I'm talking about. So this one only has 2 alternatives, so you can either do it standing. We're going to go up to the balls of our feet, hold that for 3 seconds, and down. And so the number for this is 21. So you can either do it, we're going to do it 21 seconds worth, so 7 sets. Or you can try to do it 21 sets. This is an easy one to do too, as you're kind of doing a household chore or watching TV or whatever. So how you would do that if you're seated is you're just gonna put your hands wherever. I personally would keep them in my lap, and then you're just gonna raise your feet and bring your tiptoes forward and bring your heel back. So same kind of effect. So good job, everyone. You're over halfway there now. And so if you've noticed, I've been doing 2 of a couple of the different kinds of things. So we've done 2 legs, and we've done 1 ab and 1 chest. So we're going to do another kind of ab. This one here is something that is, in my lifetime, has been known to be a myth. But before that is what people had been taught. And that is that during a seizure, you will swallow your tongue. So swallow my tongue is 15 letters. So this exercise is based off of the number 15. So I'm going to show you a couple different alternatives. This one has 3. So numbers 1 and 2 are kind of different. And number 3 kind of relates back to number 1. So number 1 is you're going to lay down on your back, and we're going to try with number 1 to do this for sets, meaning left, right, 1, left, right, 2. So you lay flat down, feet out in front of you, and these are called scissors. So we're going to bring our legs out, bring them together, legs out, bring them together. So that would be 2. And try to do this up to 15. If you can't, that's okay. But we're going to try to do that up to 15. That's option 1. Option 2 on the 15 for swallow my tongue is to do into a wall or into a piece of furniture, hold a plank position for 15 seconds. So my position isn't going to be perfect here because I'm kind of at an odd angle. Actually, I'm going to turn and face you backwards, and I'll stay with what I had before. So you kind of want your elbows out a little further when you're doing this. But so you want to go in and hold it. Feet off the ground if you can. And if you can't do it like that, doing it like we did with the push-up and getting in that position and keeping yourself at 45 degrees, that's the other option on that. But then the one where you're seated, fully seated, the option for this one is so, again, it's going to work our core. What we're going to do is keep our feet flat. We're going to raise our arms above our head with our back straight and hold that for 15 seconds. So again, that was 3 more. Good time to kind of catch your breath. think about, like maybe different things you want to try to do coming up. Some of the time I'll look at like an agenda for myself for the next day. I'll get a sip of water or whatever. And whenever you're doing workouts, if you need to stop partway through, that's more than okay. If you need to, not do the whole set, that's more than alright. If you can't do certain things, if you find that you try to do something and it's a bit too hard for you, that's okay. Every little bit counts and helps. So now all we have left, 2 more exercises in our cool down. So for our next part, we're going to do chest. That's the one of those main couple parts we haven't done 2 of yet. So we're going to do 2 chests. We're going to do a chest exercise. And for this one, we're doing it based off of the fact that generic and name brand are the same. So that's a lot of letters there. That's 29. So I'm not going to have you do a 29 count of anything. That being said, we're going to do 29 seconds. So for me, some of the time with what I'm sharing, I figure maybe about 1 every 2 seconds or so. But anyways, so if you're counting, it's a type of push-up. Aim for 12 to 15. If you feel like you're at that point, if you're not, aim for 6 to 10. But anyway, so there are a couple different modifications on this one too. So what we're doing on this one is we're going to be getting our fingertips in a diamond position, like a triangle, and going down and touching that and coming up. So that's what's called a closed grip push-up. So again, like with our other one, you want to start getting yourself on your knees, go down into like a tabletop position, and you're going to slide your arms forward until you're a little under your chin, and bring yourself up into the plank / push-up position. And then you're going to go down and get your, it's going to be your chin into that triangle. So this one is a timed one. As I said though, if you don't have a watch, try to figure a rough count maybe in your head. And like on the other one, like on the wide grips, you can do it from your knees and go down, or you can do it on your knees into like a couch or a bed and go down. On the couch or the bed, the lower the thing is that you're doing it on, the harder it's going to be. So if I'm doing this point here where I sit, is going to be harder than this point where I put my arms, because I don't have as far down to go. So that's the other, those are a couple modifications on it. And then if you're seated with this one, what we want to do is, which honestly is a very helpful thing, even if you can do the regular push-ups, is to put your arms push your arms in together at your chest, almost like you're in a weird prayer stance, and so you're going to squeeze them together and then push away from yourself. And this one, again, you're only doing for a time, but this is actually a really helpful one too. So we've done 7 of our things. We've done our warm-up, and then we've done 2 abs, 2 legs, 2 chest. That leaves us 1 more. one part we have not hit yet is the back. So what we're going to do is we're going to do something for the back, and this one is based off of the myth that seizures always go together with a fever, either before or after. Well, that's not necessarily the case. You know, people might be tired, but that doesn't mean that there might be a little foggy, but that doesn't mean that they're having a temperature. So the seizures and fever is 16 letters. So actually on this one, everyone is going to do the same kind of thing. So everyone's going to be seated, and we're all going to bring our arms forward straight out in front of us, pull our arms back, hold that for 1, 2, 3, bring it back up in front of us, and bring it back again. And we're going to do that. So I'm saying 16 times. If you need to break it up, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 10 and 6, 8 and 8, that's more than okay. But this now gets our upper back. So anyways, that was a nice variety there. Thank you for joining. Hope everyone learned something. Again, my name is Matthew Steele. If you ever need any other workout ideas, let me know. And it's always important to make sure you cool down. So it's always good to just do some deep breathing afterwards. That's what I like to do when I do something inside especially, and I always like to stretch. I've heard if you do a lot of like cardio or a heavy leg day, it's good to do like a light kind of a low-paced run or something to release the lactic acid in your legs. But you know, so another good thing is just do some deep breathing. Do it however many times you like. I think like 5 to 8 is a good number to aim for. But anyways, so if you need anything else, any other questions, let me know. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.